new diet, into the new diet. I am very much into the new diet and exercising, for example. It means that you like it very much, that you are really getting something, some benefits out of it, but you like it very much and very much into it. Or, on the contrary, you can say, I'm not into it. Не очень нравится. I don't like it that much. I'm not into it. You see?
I'm not.
Can you make up your own example, please, with to be into something? Yes.
I'm very much
yes.
into listen.
Yes.
About
listening.
Yes. I'm very much into listening.
Yes.
About traveling.
Yes.
About traveling.
About travel.
And thought about people.
And thinking about people.
Thinking
about people. So, yes, that's very good. You can say into something and use nouns, or you can say into it and use a pronoun, or you can say into and use ing form, which is a gerund. I'm very much into listening, into thinking about people. I'm very much into it. Now, can you say the same, but in the negative form, like you don't like it at all?
I'm not into it.
I'm not into it. If you say I'm not into it, not into it, it's part of a conversation. Yes? Because if you're speaking to me, you're talking with me, I already understand what you mean by it. Yeah? But if you want to say I'm not into, let's say I'm not into traveling to hot countries, yeah, or I'm not into sports.
Into news about politics.
Wonderful. Yes, I'm not into news about politics.
Or about catastrophes.
Or about catastrophes, yes. About catastrophes. Yes, about catastrophes. Brilliant. Very good. Now let's look at our phrasal verbs which I have prepared for you. Let me give an example. To blow up. To blow up. For example, to blow up a balloon. Balloon. To explode. Bam! Let's explode. To blow up. We can also say blow up about somebody's patience. My patience blew up as I tried to call the customer services department for the umpteenth time. Umpteenth time.
Энное время, да?
Yes.
Некоторое время.
Раз. Много раз. For the umpteenth time.
Разы, да?
This is порядковое, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, umpteenth time. 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, etc. Umpteenth time. Yes, very good. So you understand the meaning of blow up. You can also say, my patience blew up. My patience blew up. Or my friend's patience blew up anytime I sense a blow up of my emotions. These phrasal verbs which we are studying right now, they are separable. phrasal verbs. Separable, which means that you can put a pronoun between them. For example, if you say you have to do your essay over. You have to do it over. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how we can do it. I blew up the balloon. I blew it up, for example. If we're talking about the balloon.
Grew up. When my patient don't understand me.
Yes. Yes.
Well, then my patient don't understand my advice.
Yes. I blow up. It happens sometimes. Yes. I blow up if my patients do not understand me or don't understand me. If my patients don't understand me.
Don't understand me.
I blow up. That's fine. But if you're speaking about a balloon, for example, I blew up the balloon. I blew it up. There are two different meanings and two different phrasal verbs. For example, if you blew up something, if you blow up something, let's think about it. What can we blow up? We can blow up a balloon like this one. What else can we blow up? Sometimes when we make pickles at home, pickles like marinades, when we make pickles at home, yes? And then something goes wrong, and then pickles, the glass jars will blow up. Do you understand me? Sometimes when we make pickles at home, and then they go off.
I'm cooking or prepare many marinades or pickles in home, but the next of it blew up.
Yes, they explode. Yes, they explode.
Explode.
Not very nice, but it's a good example. You can say, I blew up what? I blew up my pickles or my marinades. My marinades.
Marinades. I blew up my marinades.
I blew them up.
Да, separable. I blew them up.
Yes, that's separable. I blew them up. I'm not sure if if this example is brilliant. I'm not sure, but we made it. You understand it, and you can use it. I blew up my marinades. I blew up the balloon. I blew it up. Or let's say, my child blew up the balloon. He blew it up. If we just change this sentence a little bit, if we stick to the balloon, yeah. Or my daughter blew up her marinades. She blew them up. You understand what I mean?
Up. Why is this? I blew up my marinades. The marinades yourself blew up. No, I blew up.
I know. That's why I'm saying this is not a very good example, because you're quite right. The marinades blew up themselves. The marinades blew up.
Blew up, yes.
Let's say all of the glass jars opened.
All of the glass jars opened.
With a bang. With a bang.
With a bang.
Bang is like bang. All of the glass jars opened with a bang.
Jars, сосуды, баночки. Opened with a bang. Yes.
Opened. Okay, what we will do now is
on the sky.
Yes. Can you repeat it? Can you say it again?
Mhm. The balloons
Yes.
blew up on the sky.
The balloon blew up in the sky.
In the sky.
So they went up and then they blew up.
Mhm.
They went up into the sky and then they blew up.
Mhm.
They went up
They
and
went
then
up and
they blew up.
they blew up. They went up. They
And then they blew up. Okay, good. Let's continue. To bring up. To bring up. To mention something. To mention something. To talk about something. To bring up.
bring up.
For example, my teacher brought up that little matter of my exam failure again. Can you read all of this, please?
Bring up. Mention a topic. To talk about it. My teacher brought up that little matter of my exam failure again. Setback, lack of success, mistake.
Lack of success.
Lack of success, setback. Мой
Setback.
учитель.
So look, of course you see the letter U here, right?
Fail.
But we don't.
Yeah.
Yes, but we don't pronounce it. We don't pronounce it. As you can see in the pronunciation in the transcription,
Failure.
we don't have U. Fail. Yeah.
Failure. Fail.
Yeah. Fail. Yeah. We
Fail.
don't have U and we
Yeah.
don't have U. We have failure.
Failure. Failure.
Very good. Now,
Failure.
brilliant. Wonderful. Can you make up a sentence with bring up? Like, for example, you don't like political news. You don't like news about politics.
Yes.
But what happens if somebody mentions politics when you are talking to that person? Can you describe that situation using the word bring up? Do you know? Imagine a situation where you're talking to your friend and then your friend mentions politics. What is your reaction? Describe that situation in your own words using the phrasal verb bring up. You said here that you don't like, I'm not into news about politics or about catastrophes.
Yes.
You said. Now I'm asking you to describe a situation in your own words. Yes? A situation where you and your friend are talking about something, and suddenly your friend, yes, and suddenly your friend does this. Yeah? Mentions politics. So describe that situation, please. Let's say yesterday. Yesterday, we were talking with my friend about cakes or about music. And then suddenly she or he, what did they do? They did this, started talking about politics. And then I told him, let's not do that. I don't like that news. I don't like politicians. I don't believe.
Это разъяснение, bring up, да? Уточнение, разъяснение.
Это обязательно начать об этом разговор о чем-то. Упомянуть что-то.
Просто упомянуть.
Да. Не то, что упомянуть, а завести разговор о чем-то. Завести разговор о чем-то.
Topic.
Или упомянуть, да. Или просто разговаривать о чем-то. But I want you to speak. Yes? That's why I want you to describe a situation. Something happened yesterday. You were having a conversation with your friend. Talk about it. And then your friend started talking about politics. What was your reaction?
My reaction very negative.
Yes. Why was it negative?
Because my friend bring up
Yes. I want you to use this expression.
Because bring up about politics. We have conversations with my friend. He bring up about. He bring up about.
They brought up.
He bought.
Because it was yesterday. Brought.
Da. He brought up about political situation, international situation.
He brought up. You don't need any prepositions here. He brought up politics. He brought up political. He brought up political news, maybe.
News.
And what did you say? And I didn't like it, or I didn't want it, or I told him not to do that. And I told him that he wanted to discuss.
Stop.
Yes. And I asked him to stop it.
Because I not into it.
Because I'm not into it. I'm not into it. Good. Let's continue. There is also another meaning of the phrasal verb to bring up. We say bring up when we mean raising children. To look after children, to educate children. To
educate children,
yes. To see them grow. To see them grow. To bring up, to raise children.
To see them grow.
For example, if I ask you, do you have any siblings? Do you have any siblings? What is siblings?
Siblings? No, I don't know.
Brothers and sisters.
What sisters?
Brothers and sisters.
Brothers
and sisters.
Siblings. Thank you. Yes, I have.
Do you have any siblings? Yes, you do. Yes. And now you can answer this question using the word bring up.
Sometimes my siblings ask me to bring up for his children. It is my niece and nephews. I'm very glad. I'm really glad bring up for my niece and nephews. Nieces and nephews. I'm glad to bring them up.
I'm glad to bring them up.
Bring them up.
But Suliko, there is a difference between two different things. When a mother brings up children and when somebody helps her to bring them up. Yeah? Because if you say that you brought up your nieces and nephews, it means that you did it yourself. You weren't helping somebody, or somebody wasn't helping you. Well, sometimes my siblings ask me to help them bring up their children.
Yes, to help.
To help them bring up their children.
Helps.
I'm very glad.
Bring up.
Yes, I'm very glad to contribute. Yes, to contribute to bringing up my nieces and nephews. I'm glad to bring them up too. Okay. So this way,
I'm glad to
bring
them.
Внести вклад.
Contribute.
Contribute means to help.
Yes, contribute. To bringing up my niece and nephews. I'm glad to contribute to bring up my nieces and nephews. I'm glad to bring up them. Yes, thank you. Как мысль развилась? Contribute.
Filippo, I want you to make up a sentence with the verb to contribute. It's a new verb for you, and I would like you to make up a sentence. Like, imagine a situation when your colleagues are collecting money for veterans and they ask you to contribute, would you like to contribute or not?
My colleague?
Yes, your colleagues
My colleague?
told you, yes, your colleagues are collecting money for veterans.
Yes.
And they
Collecting
asked you to contribute. Would you like to contribute?
In his collection, yes. I gift him my money from other country.
Your colleagues are collecting money for veterans.
Money for collecting.
Veterans. They are asking you to contribute.
Yes, of course.
Would you like to contribute?
Yes.
And then you say,
I
yes, of
contribute
course.
too to collecting money for veterans.
I will contribute. Yes, of course, I will contribute.
Yes, of course, I will contribute.
Now, make up your own sentence. Make up your own sentence.
With contribute.
Say, yes, with contribute. Say, I always contribute. When somebody is collecting money for veterans. Yeah? Something like this. But use another topic. Like, I always contribute when my colleagues and friends are collecting money or are raising money for something. Can you make up your own sentence?
Yes, I always contribute when my colleagues and my friends collecting money for helping patients. А как будет инвалиды? Patients for
disabled. For the disabled people.
And I always contribute when on TV, как же будет объявление, забыла. About
announcements. Yes, or when I hear announcements on TV.
Announcement on TV. They collect money for operation for children on abroad. For children who will have operation abroad.
For children's operations abroad, when they take children to other countries for the operation.
To other countries for the operation. Then they take children to other.
So you go here. When I asked you a question, do you have any siblings, brothers and sisters? I wanted you to answer this question using the verb to bring up, such as, my mother brought up that many children. You see, this is the main phrasal verb which we are training, which we are studying. That's why I wanted you to answer this question using the verb bring up in the meaning of raising children. Do you have any siblings, brothers and sisters?
Do you have any siblings, brothers and sisters? Do you
answer this question using the verb bring up? Like my mother, our mother brought up 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy.
When do you like when your mother bring up for?
No. I want you to answer this question. This is a question. I'm asking you a question. Do you have any siblings?
Yes.
Do you have any siblings? And you said yes.
Siblings. brothers and sisters.
Yes.
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 I have brother and sister.
Yes.
Bring так, теперь using bring up.
My mother brought
Mother
up
brought up for my brother and sisters.
three
The children. Two
children.
brothers,
Yes, two girls
two girls and one son.
and one boy.
One boy.
Two daughters and one son.
Yes, yes, yes. Two girls and one boy.
Yeah, either way.
Daughter and one son. Daughters and one son. When she was in work, my grandmother brought up for us.
When she was at work,
my
grandmother
brought up,
helped
helped
bring
to
us up.
bring up
What a
us.
beautiful sentence.
Helped.
Now, what did we do? We separated these two words. Bring up, bring us up.
Us up. Да, bring us up.
Yes, so we put a pronoun between them. When she was at work, my grandmother helped her to bring us up.
Us up. Helped.
Okay. Now I will ask you a question. Does your brother have any children? Does your brother have any children?
Yes, my brother have 3 daughters.
Yes. My brother has
the 3 daughters.
Now let's make up a sentence where you will use them between bring and up. I will ask you a question. Does anybody help him bring them up?
Does anybody help him bring them up? Bring them up. Anybody? Does anybody? Yes. True grandmother. Help him bring them up.
Two grandmothers
help him bring them up.
You can say to bring them up, or you can say it without to. Both ways are correct.
Yes, to.
Both sentences are correct.
Verb to bring them up. To bring them up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay, let's continue. The next one is to call off. To call off means to postpone. To cancel. To call off means to cancel. For example, to cancel a meeting. The meeting was called off. You see the example here is keep calm, cancel the meeting, and call off the meeting. They called off this afternoon's meeting. They called it off. Yeah? They called it off. So I want you to repeat this phrasal verb, the meaning, and this sentence. Read these aloud.
Cancel. They called off this afternoon's meeting. They called it off.
Now make up a sentence looking at this sentence. They called off this afternoon's meeting. Let's say make up a sentence about a conference. What other things can be called off? Events, conferences. What else can be called off? Meetings. What else?
Meetings, events.
Visit. Yes. Event.
Event я забыла вот знакомое.
Событие.
Событие.
Мероприятие.
Event.
Мероприятие. Event.
They call off today's event.
Travels. Event.
Event because the weather very cold and rain.
Because the weather was very cold and it rained. They called off
Today's events. They called off today's events because weather was cold.
Because the weather was cold and it rained. Very good. Excellent. That's a good example. Call off. They can call off today's meeting. Now, please continue reading these sentences, please.
They can call off today's meeting. Они смогли отменить сегодняшнюю встречу. They can call off today's...
More good. Because it's present.
They can call off today's meeting. Our last lesson was called. We can call off.
Yes. When you pronounce call off, you should stress off. Yes. Also, you should not stress positive. No, if it was they cannot. Yes. If you say cannot, then you will stress cannot.
Да.
They can call off today's meeting. So the center of the sentence, the semantic center of the sentence is off. The stress is on the verb, the word off. They can call off today's meeting. Our last lesson was called off. There is what you stress. The accent is here.
Accent.
She can call off our reading lesson today.
They can call off our reading lessons today. They can call off today's meeting. Our last lesson was called off. She can call off our reading lessons today. The university teacher called off the lesson today. The last batch of the product was called off from the supermarket very soon due to poor quality. Due to the poor quality. Due to the poor quality. Product was called off from the supermarket very soon due to the poor quality. Called off.
Wonderful. Now look at the next phrasal verb. The next phrasal verb is to do over. To do over means to repeat a job, to redo it, to do it all over again. Remember, we can repeat this word itself. He did it over and over again. He did the same mistake over and over. So the word over means a repeated action. That's why when we add the adverb over to the verb do, we have the phrasal verb to do over becomes a new word, a new phrasal verb, to do over. Okay, now please read these 2 or 3 lines and then make up your own sentence.
Do over. Repeat the job, redo it, to do it all over again. To do it all over again. Do this homework over. Read it over, please. Read it again, please.
Now, please say what I want you to say. Say it in English, please. If somebody makes the same mistake many times, how will you describe it? How will you say this?
Mistake?
Yes, if somebody makes the same mistake many times, how will you describe the situation using the verb to do over?
You
Yes. When somebody makes the same mistake many times, how do you say it? How will you describe it using the phrasal verb over?
you do over mistake or over and over mistake.
Yeah. You
You
do the same mistake over and over.
take over and over.
Mhm.
You do many mistake. You do over
Mhm.
them. You do
And over. No, you do them over. You do many mistakes over and over. Yes. You do them. You do them over. So what did we do here? Instead of many mistakes, we put the pronoun them. You do many mistakes over and over. You do them over. Or you did them over. There's no это сделали, да? There's no это сделали. Okay. Do it over. Redo it. Заново сделай, пожалуйста. Yeah? Do it over, please. Let's say, yes. Let's make up a sentence.
you
I did too many mistakes. I made too many mistakes, and my teacher asked me to do the homework over.
you
Yes? To redo it.
you
To
do
do it
many
over.
mistakes when with your pronunciation. You did them over
Mistakes.
and over.
I
Please
don't think we say do. We should say make. I think to make mistakes.
make. You make many mistakes with pronunciation. Over and over.
Yes, you made many mistakes.
Made many mistakes
In your pronunciation.
in pronunciation. Over and
And
over.
that's why, yes, and your teacher asks you to do your homework over. It's not easy. Now, let's look at these sentences. Let's read these sentences and then we'll make up more sentences. Can you read these sentences, please?
If you read,
Yes, just
if you
read.
do this exercise over and over again, you will have good results and become an excellent athlete. Athlete, athlete.
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 Yes.
Wash the car over. It seems not clean yet. If there's a noise in your room, please turn off your microphone when you are not speaking. Every day I do over and over my very hard work because I learn new things every day. To be fit, you should do exercise over and over. To be fit, you should.
Yes.
He repeats the poem over and over again until he remembered very word by head.
No.
Head.
You need heart.
Remembered every word by heart. Heart.
Yes. You made quite a few mistakes in this sentence, Filipo. Will you read it again? He repeated the poem over and over again until he remembered every word by heart. Read it again, please.
He repeated the poem over and over again until he remembered every word by heart.
Until he remembered, not until,
until yes, sorry. Until he remembered every word by heart. Until
Brilliant. Excellent.
he remembered.
Now, here, athlete. Okay, that wasn't an easy word, actually. To do it over. Let's say, ты сделал слишком много ошибок в этом упражнении, сделай его заново. D'accord? Silicon, are you there? Can't hear you. Silicon, can't hear you. I don't know why I can't hear you. Can you leave the classroom and then come back? I don't know why I can't hear you. Silicon, yes. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.